They also have a game which is as simple as don't blink. No prizes for guessing what they have to do.
They have to make the other opponent blink.
They just stare at the camera for 60 seconds and that's the game, and you win 20 grand if
My
you can do
God.
that. That's it.
Feels like I feel when I record these things and you guys talk.
Exactly, I was just gonna say that.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Nertorium, where we talk about the news sometimes, I guess. Jishnu Tejas, have you heard of this little podcast called You Talkin' You Two to Me?
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's my favorite podcast.
Okay, that is a lie. But let me explain to the several of our viewers who probably have not heard of it. You Talkin' You Two to Me was a podcast started some years ago by Adam Scott of Parks and Recreation and several other TV shows and movies, and host of the podcast Comedy Bang Bang, Scott Aukerman, and also the founder of the Earwolf Podcast Network. Basically, they got together and decided to create a podcast talking about U2. Yeah. But there was also an excuse to basically fuck around in a room and create gold in the studio essentially. Jishnu and I are big fans of both U2 and the podcast, right Jigs?
Yeah.
Okay, so after that podcast was done and it built a pretty cult following, and eventually U2 appeared on it. After that podcast, they started a podcast about REM called Are You Talking REM RE Me? Again, the titles are always gold. Again, it's literally the same story. It's one of those situations where the sequel is just as good as the original, because once again, every single episode was gold and REM ended up on the podcast. So the news that I'm coming to is they have now started a threequel called Are You Talking RHCP RE Me?
Oh,
All on board. For the first episode,
damn.
Never had a quicker hour 45-minute listen in my life.
Right?
So good. In fact, I really want the two of them to just do full-time music journalism. The one video interview that they've put out is, I think it's the only one, I could be wrong, but the one that they did with REM last year sometime, I think. Solid gold. Just so damn good. You would not expect two guys that are comedians and actors and writers to be this on the ball with regard to the kind of line of questioning that they have for these guys. Because the podcast is so fun because it's really silly and really stupid, especially the U2 one, because that's the first one that they started this whole run with, and so that was clearly a labor of love, nothing else. Literally just two of them being well, we probably talk about this shit all the time any which way, why don't we put it on well, I was going to say wax, but put it on WAV files. And
yeah, correct.
While it's a 2-hour long ramble, there's maybe actually 20 minutes of U2 talk and 100 minutes of just shooting the shit, and it's incredible. But then
comedy gold.
Solid gold. But then you put them physically in the room with those guys, or physically in the room with REM, and I can't wait for when they inevitably get in the same room with some combination of the Chili Peppers, whatever combination there exists at the time of that recording.
Back to the an OG.
Absolutely. For now.
Yeah, mid OG lineup.
Yeah.
Mid OG, yes.
They're at that version, I think 3.0, back to version 3.0 at the moment, or 4.0. I lose track.
Yeah.
Point is, so good. Couldn't be happier. Go them.
It's an odd choice, I would say, because Red Hot Chili Peppers is not the kind of band you'd expect anybody to be talking about in 2020 necessarily. They seem like I guess the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
But I guess it's the catalog is about as vast and and
exactly. There's so much to
yeah.
dig into, not only from the music, but there's also their own personal story of the band's history.
Yeah, exactly. So they're picking bands basically that obviously legendary bands basically.
Yeah. Adam Scott is the one who kind of tossed the idea around apparently. And obviously they're both fans, but he was just nobody really talks about RHCP, and it just occurred to me there's so many distinct phases and lineups they've had that it would be an interesting change from an REM and a U2 who have both basically been the same band for the past how many ever years. But are we talking RHCP? Are we? Because what do you guys think of RHCP?
I fraggin' love them. I saw them live, front row at the O2, stood in line for 12 hours for that shit. Right in front of Flea, and I've never. The only other time that my skin has like physically been
You
peeled.
stood in line in front of Flea. Flea has to stand in line to get into RCP concerts.
I was standing in a line.
But I guess that's
in
what they
front
do to a lot of band
before
members.
that show that night. See what I was doing?
Fucking
Aye.
bassists, man. They get no respect.
I know.
It was amazing. It was great. It was absolute bliss.
Oh, nice. Was there a heavy glow? Because you were standing in line to see the show that night.
Let's talk more about Adam Scott. Have you guys seen his now maybe month old, 2-month old new-ish game show called Don't?
I have not. Tell us about
It
it.
is great, and the best part is it's on I believe the ABC website, or is it NBC? One of the BCs, A or N, I forget. For free. The first episode is on there for free, and it's pretty good. I mean,
What's it called?
it's called Don't, and it's kind of a hybrid of very much like Japanese style game shows, which are just like larger than life, big bombastic set pieces that make no sense whatsoever, married with Adam Scott playing host, so you can imagine like what his kind of like dry sort of delivery as a host would be like, that juxtaposition. But then the secret sauce that they throw in, which I'm a little indifferent to, is Ryan Reynolds plays the narrator.
Oh, I think you mentioned
So
this. Yeah.
it's
correct,
it's games like, it's called Don't because the object of the game is to not do something. For instance, stand on this treadmill while they have these giant lights emitting heat on you, and then you have to eat 5 different hot sauces that get like, up to like 1 million Scoville. And the game is
Oh, God.
don't drink the water. Or we're gonna ask you random facts while you stand in front of these 4 like booths that at any given point, if you get the answer wrong, you'll be hit in the face by a giant tire. So don't
Oh, no.
tire. It's pretty random that way, but then again,
it's very
it
Khatro Ke Khiladi.
yes, Takeshi's Castle, whatever. One of the-
Takeshi's Castle is
one of those.
is
Just
still the-
humongous, just like giant, ludicrous ideas, which are undercut by Ryan Reynolds playing his snarky Deadpool / I guess Detective Pikachu voice, and Adam Scott
You just,
doing
you just
dry
needed a
delivery.
home gig.
Yeah, it's cool. I don't know if I could like watch more than an episode at a time because it's bizarre. But hey, it's Adam Scott, so I'm not gonna complain.
There's another show on Netflix which is kind of game showy, which I've been watching. But again, I don't know if I'll watch more episodes.
floor
called
is lava?
The Floor is Lava. Yeah. It was entertaining. And they kind of and it's quite funny. The really funny thing about that show, and I'll just quickly wrap up the review of that in like this statement, which is that if anybody does fall into the lava, they make the other like teammates like do another edit, like they do another take of them going like no,
Yeah.
and they don't show like the teammate kind of emerge out of the lava and like go off camera or whatever. Once you're in the lava, it's like you actually die, and it's like really funny, and they make them react like they're dead. It's quite
Yeah.
funny. So apart from that, I mean, the show's fine. Like it's entertaining,
That
but
sounds good. It's like a game show that embraces its ridiculousness. Which also
exactly,
seems to
yeah.
be the vibe with
I like
Don't.
that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's weird.
Let's go on to the next news item. That is a pretty accurate Anthony Kiedis
Never do
impression,
that.
if
No,
may say
I
so
didn't know
myself.
until you just said it. Just now.
Never do that again.
Okay, I was just talking staccato, okay? Which is pretty much what Anthony Kiedis has made a career out of. I don't know why I'm hating on Kiedis. He's cool. You're cool, Anthony. We're good. Talk to me, Tony. Alright. Moving on. Have you all heard of these Renaissance painters called Leonardo, Michelangelo, Raphael, and Donatello? They're not all Renaissance painters. One of them is a sculptor. One of them's something else.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Most of
Seth
them are
Rogen
polymaths.
is doing a... The what?
Who's the sculptor?
They are
Polymaths.
polymaths. Yeah. In fact, I think the term is a Renaissance man, but a Renaissance turtle in this case because Seth Rogen is remaking TMNT. How do we feel about this?
Always on board.
We feel good. Who's he making it for? Nickelodeon only, or is it just like are the rights
think-
lapsed? I don't think so. Must be Nickelodeon.
No, I mean I believe it's a film.
Yeah, but
Huh.
is it? It's like it'll be a
Nickelodeon makes
film, right?
films.
Yeah. The last 3 TMNT films are Nickelodeon productions because they own the rights.
I believe it's in early stages of development, and all they've said is that it's going to be like a fun reboot taking inspiration from the original. Well, they said comics, but I think they meant cartoon because I can't imagine them making the original comics, which are those black and white, fairly dark
Right.
turtles murdering people. comics.
So yeah, I have two thoughts on this. One is that I like obviously Seth Rogen, and I think he's really funny and he's great. He did make this one superhero film before called The Green Hornet. I think you guys have seen it. Yeah.
I believe it's a highly underrated film.
I think it's underrated also. That's what I was just gonna say. That I think that it wasn't as bad as people made it out to me. I remember going to the cinema.
I think it was mainly
to
because
an
it was
Inox.
Christoph Waltz coming out hot on the heels of Inglourious Bastards and people being
Maybe
like, "What
that's
is
probably
this?"
it.
Yeah.
But and also I think the superhero film wasn't maybe ready to be subverted just yet. Maybe at the time, but it was quite funny and. I think he had to also kind of meet the demands of studios where he's like that final third has to be an action thing, and so he does that. But I think if he was allowed to go like whole hog, like just like or full Pumbaa on it, he would have made something that he really wanted to make. And typically whenever you give these creators like a free rein and let them do absolutely whatever they want, they either get fired like Chris Miller and Phil Lord and then go on to make Spider-Verse or something like that. Anyway, I am excited for TMNT because I want to see like what Seth Rogen can do with a PG-13 kind of thing cap on him. I'm sure he'll have to like flex his like thinking like a little bit more how to make it funnier without making the Ninja Turtles like stoners. Like
True, but
I
really want to see a stoner Ninja Turtle.
I know, but I don't.
And they always eat
really-
pizza. They might already be stoners.
No, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
And they're teenagers.
It's
Man, come on.
2020.
Let teenagers be teenagers.
Weed is legal.
Exactly.
Let them just go for it. Like it's totally kosher at this
Is
point.
weed legal in the state of New York?
Yes.
I don't think so. Is
Isn't
it?
More importantly, is weed legal for turtles? Because I'm pretty sure the laws only apply to humans currently.
Well, they must have done some medical marijuana testing on turtles. God. Oh my god, if it's all about animal testing, that will blow my mind. I think that will be hilarious.
Do you think they'll bring back Vanilla Ice? Because that's
man.
obviously the best part of the Turtles movies.
Well, he has. There's been a precedent for it, like when he brought Backstreet Boys in This Is the End, another movie of his, I think of his, or that he was in.
Yeah.
It is him,
Yeah. I just want to know if he's gonna play a character. Like, I mean, he would be a dead ringer, obviously, for
Casey Jones?
Bebop or Rocksteady.
No.
Oh, yeah. But I guess he's already played one warthog in Lion King, so I don't know if he'll do it again. But yeah, that's
Which one? Wait, one of them is a warthog. Is that Bebop?
Bebop.
Or Rocksteady?
Rocksteady
I
is
want
a
to say
rhino.
that's Rocksteady.
He's a
Rocksteady's
rhino, right?
Yeah, Bebop
One is a
the-
rhino and one is a warthog.
Bebop.
Do you
No.
think they should update
Yeah.
those dated genre names for 2020? So they're called like Trap and Deep House.
Oh god.
This has been the Nerdtorium.